Hello, everybody. Thought I would do a video this week. This is the quintessential week in the season. I know what you're saying, JB. It's only week 3. Uh, I'm gonna get into that. I will show you why it's important to be where you are now, and you know now you have a feeling of what your team may or may not be, and it's time to step it up a notch. But first, let's just take a look at last week and go through those stuff. Thunder Affinity defeated War Daddy. Sam J now leads this series 9-6, and we kudos Sam J's continuation of office names, which completely baffles Eric as he has no clue what's going on, and War Daddy has no clue what that is, so he'll probably end up in the consolation bracket. DJ Shark do. Oh, let's just be honest. You don't get it for 2 years in a row. So, Bob, you're just DJ Shark. But you did defeat Tim Kids in a Cage. But Sam still leads this series 8-5. Locked In defeated Better Than Eric. Kyle now leads this series 3-2. Tamagotchi Poop, which, is terrible. But I guess the Tamagotchis are back, which is great. Defeated Major Dick Bong. How dare you, Tamagotchi? Do you know that Major Dick Bong is a national hero? If you don't know Major Dick Bong, you should look it up. It's part of your state history. And sorry there, Major Dick Bong. You scored the second highest points of the week and lost to the one highest points. The definition of a crushing blow. Series is now tied, 5 apiece. Thunder Bastard defeated my new favorite name, hashtag FJB. Some context on that. Was driving around and saw that on someone's rear window. Obviously, it means F Joe Biden, but, obviously, we all took it as FJB, so my new favorite name is FJB. This series is tied at 2 apiece. Glorious Domination. I not shot at him, but then he quickly just, I guess he doesn't have any. That's the only way we can really describe that. Defeats the GOAT. But it's, as it's been said, you don't slaughter the GOAT after week 2. But Travis does now lead the series 9-8-1. So, I know there's ESPN and there's Yahoo. And a lot of people like ESPN, a lot of people like Yahoo. And I'm a particular fan of Yahoo because of the historical data it saves. That's right. If you want, you can go back and look at the league from its inception in 2009. That's where I've derived a lot of my information from in these spreadsheets and these stats. It's just a way to collect that data that, in ESPN, that would have been lost the year it got renewed. We could take a trip down memory lane and go back to 2009. 2009. Let me tell you about who got drafted in the first round in that 2009. Listen to some of these names. Adrian Peterson, Maurice Jones-Drew, Michael Turner, Matt Forte, Ryan Grant, Brian Westbrook, D'Angelo Williams, and Brandon Jacobs. Those were your first round picks, folks, way back when. But now the one thing that's been really interesting is that you can collect data of, I said, the first 2 weeks, you're not going to necessarily win the league or lose the league, but you can put you in a position to be set up. So this next part is all strictly the data collected on the 0-2 team, or the 2 teams, right? So 2-0, 1-1, 0-2. Where you're at, what's your chances, where are you going, and what lies ahead for you, as well as some other stuff. So hope you enjoy the data here. So here's the playoff percentages after week 2. So overall, there's been 120 teams, right? 10 years of 12 teams since we've gone to this new playoff format. Before that, remember, we did only the top 4 in each. So 31 teams have finished or started 0-2 and 2-0, 26% there, and 58 teams have started 1-1, so 48. So the perfect curve, as you can see there. Remember, this data is since 2012. So here is some championship bracket information. So 120 teams have participated, 60 make the playoffs, and here's how it broke down. Out of the 31 teams that started 0-2, 9 made the playoffs, making 15% of that. Out of the 58 teams that made the playoffs, or started off 1-1, 26 made the championship bracket for 43% of the total. And those 31 that started off 2-0, whopping 25 have made it to the playoffs for 42%. So obviously in this case, you have a better shot at starting 1-1 and making the playoffs here. So there are 6 teams that were started off 2-0 that did not make the playoffs. Bob and Katie in 2012, Sam J and Charlie in 2013. Kyle hit this feat in 2017, and just last year, our very own Dana started off 2-0 and failed to qualify for the playoffs. So what does that mean for your percentages to make the playoffs? Well, if you're 0-2, you have a 29% chance to make the playoffs at this time. Slim, but still there. If you're 1-1, you have a 45% chance to make the playoffs. And if you're 2-0, you have an 81% chance to make the playoffs. It's not 100, but you're really up there. Now I get it. Why are you thinking 45%? Less than 50 when you're 1-1? But the biggest factor that goes into this is that there have been more people to be 1-1 and less to make it on, so the odds do get tighter there for you. So there's only been 2 0-3 teams to make the playoffs. Kyle and Eric did it both in 2013. So it is imperative that Meredith and JB find victories this week because the odds are stacked against them. 2 out of 9 that made the playoffs and 9 out of the 31. So it's 2 out of that 31 that started 0-3 that found their way in the playoffs. So let's break down the champions, right? Where they started. We had 1 champion start off 0-2. We had 4 come from the 1-1s, and we had 5, half of them, out of our 10 years of having champions, come out of the 2-0 bracket. So statistically, looking really good here. So here's your chances to win the belt, right? Statistically talked about it. If you're 0-2, you have a 3% chance of winning the belt right now. Slim hopes out there for JB and Meredith. The rest of the league is revealing in that data. They love it. They're salivating. They're drooling. They're freaking the sheets. You have an 18% chance if you're 1-1, right? That's what it goes. That's a pretty steep drop. But if you're 2-0, you have a 40% chance. So Dana and Katie, right now, 40% chance to win the belt. Kudos. And we mentioned there was only one 0-2 star champion. That's right, JB in 2014. But what about the dumper? I won't go through this list, but as you can see, here are all the individuals who have won it since it's gone away from a standing trophy to you have to lose 2 in a row to get it. So Katie, Troy, Sam J, Andy, Sam B, Sam J again, Andy again, John, yes, John even won one, Adam, and Dana. So what does this data tell us? So if you're 2-0, 2 teams have won the dumper being 2-0, so 20% of the winners. If you're 1-1, you have 6 times you've won the dumper for 60% overall. And if you're 0-2, 2 teams have won, going 20%. So again, another perfect bell curve, which is really interesting, but good there. So it's basically saying that if you're 2-0 or 0-2, you don't have that good of a shot of winning it. Your 1-1s are the ones that are the most hotly contested right now. Now, when you look at it, if you make the dumper bracket, right, if you're a 2-0 team making it, you have a 33% chance of winning the dumper right now on the statistics. If you're 0-2, you only have a 9% chance because somehow you magically make a run at it. And your one-on-ones, you have a 19% chance because you have the most in it. So really the data just shows you that no one has won a championship and no one has not secured themselves out of the dumper quite yet. As you may recall, I put out a challenge to all of you. I asked you guys to rise to the top like the cream. The cream rises to the top, the cream of the crop. And someone answered the challenge, rang the bell, wore the gauntlet, and yeah, so it is the return of everyone's favorite segment.
I'm back! Adam, you should have played Hear It. What were you thinking? And I'm back.
So, let's take a look at week 3. Who is the cream? Who's the cream of the crop? Raise to the top. Here is your week 3 preview. Thunder Affinity now going against the GOAT, looking to put him away, bury him, leave him for dead. JB does lead the series though, however, 12-3. You don't slaughter the GOAT. Major Dick Bong looking to rebound against War Daddy. Again, one of the better names versus one of the weaker names. Obviously, this has to go exactly how we know it will. Eric does lead the series 9-5-1. It's Bob. Remember, I'm not using your name this year, Bob. Last year was fun. This year it's gimmicky. Be original. Be different. Don't be Bob. Taking on Locked In. Who's looking to break out? Kyle leads this series 9-7. Thunder Bastard looking to take on Glorious Domination. Glorious Domination revealing in his defeat of the GOAT. Will he have a hangover going against the 2-0 Thunder Bastard, who is looking to definitely put a stranglehold on her way to the playoffs? Katie leads the series 7-6. Tamagotchi Poop looking to keep her ride going against Better Than Eric. Meredith does lead this series 3-1. And this will be a great point to bring up the what is Better Than Eric's stat. Better Than Eric has only lost to Andy once in her entire time in the league. Eric has lost to Andy 3 times. It's pretty embarrassing, Eric. That's why Better Than Eric. Team Kids in a Cage. Taking on my favorite name, hashtag FJB. Sam leads this series overall 3-0. We need Team Kids in a Cage to have a big victory. Baron's household could really use the positive morale in fantasy this week. So there you have it. Week 3 video. I'm trying to get everything 3 in here so that way I can change my luck and my fortune. As you know, going 0-3, and it's pretty much a death deal to the season. So if I lose, it looks like midnight struck on this Cinderella story. So it's a weird feeling for me, but you know, as Dana said, this is an opportunity for someone to step up and take it. But I'm not giving up. I'm not done yet. You're going to have to pry this from my cold, dead hand. So, I'm a 6-time champ. That's 3 twice, right? Colorado Avalanche, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. And this week's shot glass, the good old Italian sausage, number 3. So, good luck to everybody. And I'll see you on the Fantasy Gridiron.